Yeah, I'm gonna have to wait before I start talking again. So today I just wanted to have a chat about running. As you guys know, I'm pretty into running. I really enjoy it. I think it's an amazing sport. And this video is going to be mainly talking about how to get into running. So if you're a beginner and you're thinking about starting it, or you're already there and you just don't really know how to progress. So I'm going to be talking about 5 main points in this video. And near the end, I'm going to be talking about challenges. So how you can participate in some kind of running event. Now I am going to go into this in a bit more detail near the end of the video, but just so that you have a bit more of a background knowledge on it, this is all about Race for Life, and it's not just about running as well. They're for all abilities. There's also hikes in there that you can do. So yeah, that's what I'm going to be talking about near the end of the video. Now first of all, I'm going to be talking about motivation, because I find that this is the biggest obstacle that you need to overcome before you even get into the running. So for me, one thing that really helps is to plan your route beforehand. So rather than just thinking, okay, I'm gonna go on a run and start going, you can easily lose motivation and you don't know where you're going. So if you plan your route beforehand, it's so much better. Also, if you do actually plan your route, say the night before you go on a run, you're so much more likely to go because you visualized yourself doing that run, and I just find that that helps so much. Rather than waking up and thinking, oh, I should go on a run, but oh, I don't know where to go and it's cold and whatever, like I won't go. If you actually know where you're going, you'll be like, yeah, okay, today I'm going on that run, I'm gonna go. Also, try and mix up the routes as well, because if you're doing the same run again and again every single time, it's just gonna get boring and you'll lose motivation. So if you just mix up those runs, it just gives you a change of scenery, makes it a little bit more exciting, and you're more likely to go again. I'd also recommend tracking your runs on an app on your phone, just so that you can see how well you're doing, and then you can set yourself goals to go even further or faster next time. And it's just really great to see your progress. Also, one little tip that I find is so helpful is to lay out your clothes the night before. Now this is such a simple thing, but it makes such a difference. When you wake up, you see your trainers on the floor, you see your clothes all folded up, ready to be put on, you'll be straight out the door. And this leads us on to number 2, which is your running gear. I find that if I'm wearing really nice running stuff, it makes me want to just work 10 times harder. Makes me run better, makes me run further, faster. You'll also want to find the right materials that are breathable for running so that you don't get too hot or too cold. Some kind of like thermal top would be great for the winter, but also for the leggings, one thing that is just such a practical thing is to find a zip at the back. So these leggings are by Sweaty Betty. I love the pattern on them and they are really lightweight and breathable, but this zip just makes it so much easier for keys and things. You don't have to carry stuff. I hate it when you've just got loads of stuff and you're like, well, where am I going to put my keys? So yeah, a really simple tip, but they're always great. Whenever I'm looking for running leggings, I always get the ones with the zip. Also, just wrap an elastic band or a hairband around your keys to stop them rattling when you're running, because that is so frustrating. You're going to want a nice supportive bra as well. So this one is just by Next. You don't have to go out and buy super expensive gear. Next have an amazing fitness range, and then again a nice breathable top. This one is by Sweaty Betty as well, and I love the colour. But of course, when it comes to running, the most important part of your gear that you can buy are the trainers. So these are by Adidas. They're the Ultra Boost trainers, and they've got this really thick sole, so they feel quite springy in a way when you run, and they've got this amazing cushioning as well, so they're so comfortable. The material around here just kind of molds to your foot, so they just feel amazing, and the grip is great as well. So I would recommend just going into a store and trying on as many trainers as you can. See which ones feel the most comfortable, but also if the store has a treadmill in there, that's amazing because you can literally test them out. Go for a run. So now that we have got our gear sorted, we're looking great, we're motivated to go on a run, the next thing to consider is your nutrition. And the first thing I'm going to talk about is water. It is so important to keep hydrated, and I know you've heard it a million times, but it really is. The amount of times where I just haven't drunk enough water beforehand, and then I'll just get a headache and I don't go as far, I lose energy. So make sure you are well hydrated before your run. Not too much, because you don't want to feel it just in your stomach after like downing 3 glasses of water. Sip slowly so that you really are hydrated. And if you can, take a little water bottle with you so that you can sip on that during your run. But also keep hydrated for the rest of the day afterwards, because it's really going to help with the way that your muscles recover. Even during your run, you will run a lot better if you are hydrated. So I know it's a boring one, but do it. So when it comes to the food, you can of course run on an empty stomach. So as soon as you wake up, go out for a run, come back and make sure you eat as soon as you're back. But for a beginner, I would recommend you to eat something before you go, at least an hour or an hour and a half before your run, because again, you're not going to want to feel really full in your stomach. Slow releasing carbs are amazing. So things like oats and bananas, they're great to have. So you could have a bowl of porridge or a banana smoothie, something like that, where you're not going to get a sudden hit of sugar and then you're gonna crash and feel really rubbish during your run. So I would definitely avoid any sugary sports drinks. They're really not great. They are just full of sugar and you're gonna feel amazing at first, you're gonna spike like this, and then you're gonna crash. So post-run, you're going to want something that's quite high in protein. So you can have a protein shake if you have that. It's not an absolute necessity though, you can just have things that are naturally high in protein. So for me, because I'm on a plant-based diet, I have pulses, so things like beans and lentils, they're really great, high in protein. And in terms of nutrition overall, I would avoid sugary and processed foods and then keep your diet really high in vegetables, fruit and whole grains. And the fourth point that I'm going to talk about is challenge. So this is all about the Race for Life that I mentioned at the beginning of the video very briefly. So these are organisations run by Cancer Research UK, which is a UK-based charity, and they raise money for research into 200 types of cancers. So it's just so good to be supporting this charity. And there are 300 events to choose from. This includes jogging, walking, hiking. There are literally so many different types. You can do it with your kids, you can do it with the family, and this also links back to motivation. If you've got something to work towards, you're definitely going to get out there and start running, but also you're just doing so much good. So every penny counts, no matter how much you raise. I mean, it's amazing if you can raise loads of money, but every single penny really does help. And Cancer Research really do stress that this is for all abilities. You don't have to be some pro athlete, you really can just do it at your own pace. If you can get friends and family on board as well to train together, that would just be amazing. It makes it so fun and exciting. And I can't even tell you enough how amazing it is once you train for something and then you cross the finish line. It's the best feeling ever. I ran the marathon last year. I've got my medal here. Thought I'd show it because I've never actually shown my medal, I don't think. Maybe I did last year, but this is my medal from 2016. So I ran the full London Marathon, 26 miles. Still don't quite know how I did it, but it was the best experience of my life. And it just made me realise how important it is to set yourself goals, because you'll never get anywhere if you never set yourself those goals. So no matter how small it is, even if it's, you tell yourself, right, by the end of the week, I'm going to run around the block, and you do it, that you've just reached your goal. So don't worry about how small the goals are. You can keep building them up until eventually you do the Race for Life. And I ran the full marathon for Cancer Research. But before we get way ahead of ourselves talking about running 26 miles, I think just keep it really fun and lighthearted, and find a running buddy and just set goals together and enter yourself into Race for Life and just do one of the events. And I'm sure there's an event near you, because there are so many, and just have fun with it and try and raise some money. And the final point that I have is build strength. So when I first started training for the marathon, I kind of went all in with the running and I forgot about everything else. And I soon realized that it is so important to keep up with the gym and build up the strength in your legs. If anything, actually, do it even more than you were before. So just go to the gym, do lunges, squats, build up to eventually do them with weights as well, deadlifts, all of that kind of thing, even planks. So you really want to make sure your core is strong. So the main things are your legs and your core that I found really helped. I noticed a difference. Like, as soon as I started going to the gym and doing those exercises and strengthening my legs, my running was so much better. Otherwise, you're going to end up with all kinds of injuries. So just make sure your legs are strong, keep maintaining that. So as a beginner, maybe try and get in one run a week. It doesn't have to be ridiculously long at all, just whatever you're comfortable with. And you can always build this up every week. And then also do 1 or 2 sessions where you're really strengthening your legs and your core. This video has been impossible to film. I've got builders on the street outside and it's so loud, they're drilling. So every time they stop, I have to quickly get in my point. So I'm sorry if this video has been a bit rushed and I've been a bit blah 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 blah. Yeah, I'm gonna have to wait before I start talking again. stopped. And I feel like now is the perfect time of year to start running, just before summer. I mean, it's still absolutely freezing here in the UK, but yeah, I like spring, getting back into fitness, and you'll be loving it by the time it gets to summer, and hopefully the weather will be good then. So I really hope you found this video helpful if you're thinking about starting running. I'll put all of the info about the Race for Life in the description box down below, so check that out. Anyway, let me know what you think of the video, and I'll see you very soon. Bye! Oh my god.